What do you need? What do you need? You just want to get some attention? Okay. You see my laptop in my little corner right here. Hi, hello, welcome back, Bookies Besties, to another video. As you can see by today's title, we are going to talk about the 25 books I want to read in the year of 2025. Now, this list, I have been compiling this list for a couple weeks now in my head, and I was gonna film this video a lot sooner. I was supposed to film this video a lot sooner because I am pre-filming for the beginning of January, so all I gotta do is edit the rest of December. Which I love myself for doing. So with that being said, it's still pretty early on, but these are books that I just did not get to in 2024, or either books that got like really hyped in 2024 that I now feel the want to read because they sound just like peak up my alley. Like they're right there on the list of books that I would absolutely love. So let's just get to it. If you know me in real life, yes, this shirt stays on 24/7. Yes, I think I am still going through post-concert depression. Yes, I will be getting tickets to the Dream Show 4. No further questions asked. Thank you very much. But also, if you know me in real life, why are you watching this video and why have you made this far in? The first book I have for you today is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Now, this is a book talk book. She was my book talker, read many books and decided to write her own book. I was actually there. I followed her when she was in the process of writing this book, and she published it. She self-published it. Maybe 2-3 months into her self-publishing it, it got picked up by a publisher. And I have still yet to read this, and I watched her write this book. I was there while she wrote this book. Like, I probably know more about this book than I think I realized because I was with her as she was writing this book, and I have yet to read it. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. I don't know if I'm gonna hate it. I heard it's a mix of the Hunger Games and like the Red Queen, and that those aspects kind of loosely fall off as you continue to read the book. Now, I've never read the Hunger Games, but I have read Red Queen, so I think I'm gonna like it. I don't know. We'll see. The next book I have for you, I think, was on my 2023 books to read in my 23 books to read in 2023. I'm not completely sure. But the book is Babel by R.F. Kuang. This book, guys, I have told myself I was going to read it a million one times. I love me a good little dark academia read. I'm currently reading The Atlas 6 by Holly Blake, which I know are two completely different, like, levels of dark academia, but I'm comparing it to that in the sense that it's a dark academia book that I really want to get to. I absolutely love R.F. Kuang, as you can see by my precious copy of the Poppy War in the back, which is going to be in every video from moving forward because it's way too precious to not have center focus right here. And so I want to read Babel. It's one of my books that I've been wanting to read for a really long time, and I have still yet to get it. And like I said, I think this book was on my 23 books I wanted to read in 2023. I'm not completely sure, but the next book I have for you is Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater. Now, I know pretty much nothing about this book besides I think it's under the cozy fantasy genre of fantasy books. I'm not completely sure. Like I said, I've pretty much done nothing about this book series, but I do know that people absolutely love Half a Soul and people rave about it. And I've seen a couple of my favorite booktubers, like The Raven-Haired Reader, and who else read this book this year? Somebody else that I watched read this book this year and absolutely loved it and cannot wait, and like they read it, they loved it, and they have continued on with the series and they love the series. So I want to partake in the goodness that is Half a Soul. I can't give you a synopsis on what it's about because I know nothing about it. The next book I have for you is Her Soul to Take by Harlan LaRue. Now, this is the first book in the Souls trilogy by Harlan LaRue. If you know anything about me, you know that The Losers Duet by Harlan LaRue is one of my favorite, and I mean all-time favorite, 6-star reads for me books. Okay, because the story, the romance, the characters, the smut, like all of it combined together makes for like the most perfect story you will ever see and read. Okay, and I beg for another romance book to give me the feeling that The Losers Duet did. Now, in saying that, I do not own any copies of that yet. I need to, but in 2024, I like completely dumped my library, and so all of these books, the majority of these books that I have back here, have been bought in the year of 2024 because I'm absolutely insane and stupid. So with that being said, I do need to get new copies, but Harley Rue, I absolutely love their writing and The Losers Duet, and I want to read something else by them to make sure that I like they're an auto by author, they're a favorite author of mine, and I have a feeling that I'm going to love it. I know this is about like demons, I believe. And so like the first book, she like literally summons a demon by accident, and then they end up falling in love, and that's pretty much all I know. And that sounds once again right up my alley. I read a lot of Cleo Evans, and she writes a lot of monster romances. So this being like a monster romance sounds like right up my alley. Okay, the next book I have for you is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Now I'm pretty sure this is also another one that was on my 23 books to read in 2023 that I just did not get to. I'm pretty sure I started this book and then I soft DNF'd it. Sorry, Nala is like under the tripod and I'm trying to make sure that she's not gonna knock it down. Hello. As I was saying, 7 Days in June, I'm pretty sure was on my 23 books to read in 2023. I just did not get to. Like I said, I think I started the book and then I saw the DNF because I realized that this book was going to be, the book was going to be a lot heavier than I was anticipating it, and I had to be in the right mindset to read it. And honestly, I don't think I'm really ever in the right mindset to read a book. I just kind of pick up a book and read it and call it a day. So that being said, I know this book is about two authors, and I'm pretty sure they are writing about each other. Listen, authors writing about each other in a book. Peak. But I know it's a lot, like there's a lot more to the story than just like that. And I know they met like years and years ago for 7 days in June. And I'm pretty sure the book takes place over maybe like 7 days or so. I don't really know. I just know it takes place in a book. Let's talk about the next book. The next book I have for you. I am absolutely terrified to put this out into the world and for everybody on BookTube to know if they ever watch this video. But the next book is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, which is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy by him, and like one of the first books you should read when you get into like the Cosmere. Do I think I'm gonna like this book? Yes. Am I still absolutely terrified to read this book? Yes. Because this book has, Brandon Sanderson has his own fandom, okay? And I feel like I'm throwing myself into a fire with this one because a lot of Brandon Sanderson's fans are males. And I feel as if I don't like this book, all of that attention is gonna backfire on me, and also the Cosmere just seems like this really big world that I don't know if I can take it all in because I'm stupid. Listen, just because I read fantasy books does not make me smart. I don't know what people don't get about that, but I do want to read this. I've heard really good things about it, and I've heard really good things about Brandon Sanderson in general, and I want to get into the Cosmere and just Brandon Sanderson in general and become a fan, become a stan, become like an all-time favorite author, you know? But we're going to start small, and we're going to start with The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson and try and finish the Mistborn trilogy in 2025. That's a goal that we're not going to talk about here. We're just going to talk about The Final Empire. We're just going to say The Final Empire, and that be it. Okay? Great. The next book I have for you is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. Now, I'm not like a big romance person. Like, I read dark romance, but I don't read like the more whimsical, I would say, romances, like the cute little romances. I don't read a lot of those. Dark romance is where I lie in. Dark fantasy is where I lie in. Fantasy romance is where I lie in, okay? Maybe throw in like a good little small mystery thriller. Yes, but besides that, no. I don't stray too far from what I like because I know what I like and I'm very picky with what I like, but I know what I like. So The Dead Romantics is one of those ones where I'm kind of like on the fence to read it, but also people love Ashley Poston. I think she also wrote The 7-Year Slip, which is people's like absolute freaking favorite books of all time. But I want to start The Dead Romantics because I know for sure that I will like this one. I'm pretty sure I will like this one. But like I said, I'm on the fence about it. But I've heard good things about it. I haven't heard anybody like absolutely rave about it. But I do know Ashley Post is an author that people absolutely love. And not saying I want to hop on the train for that, but I think she's an author that I could possibly love, just depending on how I like The Dead Romantics. The next book series, the next book I have for you is the first book in a series, and that is the Book of Ezreal by Amber Viva Nicole. I have heard really good things about this series. I'm pretty sure there are 3 books out, and this is supposed to be like a 5 or 7 book series, with book 4 supposedly coming out in 2025. I think. I'm not 100% positive. And I've heard, like I said, I've heard really, really good things about this book series. I heard it's probably going to hurt me. Which, listen, I'm all for the pain. Poppy War stands behind me loud and proud, okay? I'm prepared for hurt. Also, Thunderglass is right there. And that has hurt my soul as well. So I'm all for a good little hurt, okay? But I don't know much about the Book of Ezreal. I think I actually know nothing about the Book of Ezreal besides the fact that people absolutely love this book series and that it's people's like all-time favorites and that it's a good fantasy series. Besides that, I know nothing. It sounds right up my alley of things that I would like though from what I know about it or what I think I know about it. So I put it on the list of 25 books in 2025. Looking at this list just tells me that I am behind and that I should do better. But considering for the last 2 years, the last 2023 and 2024, I got into like big reading slumps for like months on end, tells you everything you need to know. And the next book I have for you is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I'm also pretty positive was on my 23 books I want to read in 2023. Listen. Yes, I am a reader. Yes, I love to read. Does that mean I keep up with every book that gets popular? No, absolutely not. I probably read books that are not as popular as people would think they should be because they're good and I like them and I enjoyed them. Like, I've heard nothing about Blood and Mercy. I've heard 2 people talk about it besides myself. So with that being said, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. It's on my list of books I want to read. I know this is a big popular like mystery thriller series. I tried to read Five Survived by Holly Jackson. I didn't have to. I did not like it. I did not care for the characters. I did not care for the storyline. And it's like an interesting storyline. But I want to give A Good Girl's Guide to Murder a chance because I have a feeling that I might like it a bit more than I liked Five Survived. But also the storyline of that one just seems really, really interesting as well. From a high school student trying to serve a years old like from I don't even know what I was saying anymore. So I do really want to read this and see how I like it. And if I like it, I'll continue on and read the rest of the series. But if I don't like it, you will be hearing from me. Big deal. The next book I have for you is Love Theoretically by Allie Hazelwood. I was going to say Hallie, and it's not Hallie, it's Allie. I know originally Allie Hazelwood started writing like these like women in like science fields books with starting with the Love Hypothesis, and then I think another one was like Love something or another, and then Love Theoretically, and then I think she has like the STEM novellas also as well, but she's kind of teetered off from that a bit, and I love that for her. She's branching out and we love to see it. I read The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood, I think the year it came out, and really, really enjoyed it. I gave it like 4 stars. It was not like a 5-star, but it was really enjoyable, and I read it, and I liked it enough to want to read more books by Allie Hazelwood. I Love Theoretically is the one that I am like most interested in, besides her new releases coming out in 2025. Because I know this deals with like diabetes and like an escort service, I believe, but like it's not like an escort where like Smex, but with like fake boyfriends and fake girlfriends or whatever, or something like that, I believe. And so I really want to read it. I've heard really good things about it. I heard it's like people's favorite Ali Hazelwood book, and that she should write more books like this. And so I really want to get to it in 2025. The next book I have for you here is One Dark Window by Ashley? Who's Ashley? One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I have heard really good things about this one as well. This is like a dark fantasy book where she has like this voice inside of her head or something or another. That intrigued me. That's really all I know about it. I do know that Rachel Gillig has another like book coming out that's separate from like the Shepherd's duology, I think it's called, with One Dark Window, and I want to read that one as well, but I'm putting this one on my list first because it's her debut novel and it just sounds like it'll be a really, really good book. I've heard, like I said, I've heard really good things about it, and I know pretty much nothing about it. I try to keep most books I have on my TBR mysterious to me. I kind of only look at like the punchline of the book or whatever the book is trying to sell to me, and I go with that based off if I'm gonna like it or not, and based on other things that I have also read kind of like that, and then I go from there. So I'm sorry if I know literally nothing about half these books because I don't. But One Dark Window sounds like a book that's right up my alley. How many times have I said that already? I don't know, but I will say it again. It's right up my alley. Next book I have for you. It's a book that I have not read, but I've already ordered a special edition of it from Barnes & Noble. And that is Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. I have not read this book, but I have pre-ordered a special edition of this book. And you know why I did that? Because it's a dark romance that sounds, once again, much like what I keep saying, right up my alley. Because, and this is going to sound crazy to non-dark romance readers, but it's a stalker romance where she falls in love with her stalker. Listen, guys, when men are so obsessed with you that they want to stalk you in books, it's okay. But if they're stalking you in real life, that's a no-no. But in books, it's fine because it's fiction. It's not real. You know, it's a book. It's words on paper. It's a story that someone made up in their brain, okay? And so Lights Out by Nevessa Allen is on my 25 books to read on 2025. I have seen numerous people read this book and absolutely eat it up, and I want to be one of those people who eats it up. I want to be able to sit here and be like, yum, 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 eat it up. You know? Like, you know the Sweetener by Ariana Grande? Like, get it. You know, that, me. I want to be able to do that with this book because it sounds so good. And like I said, dark romance reader here, okay? I love me a good dark romance book. I have a few up there above me that you can't see, and they're good. And I just love dark romance in general. So I will be getting a copy of this book before the special edition gets to my house and reading it, and then I'll have 2 copies of it, and I feel like I'm gonna love this book, okay? Point blank period. The next book I have for you is a book that I also, once again, think was on my 23 books to read in 2023. And that is These Find the Lights by Chloe Gong. Listen, I think I'm gonna like this book, okay? And I started it, softly DNF'd it because I wasn't in the mood for it. This is like a phrase I'm also have said about 3 times now. But I have read this book, softly DNF'd it. I immediately pick it back up, and I have yet to do so yet, so I'm putting it on this TBR to put out to you guys to get me to read it because I need to. At this point, it is a shame that I have yet to read this book, and I have yet to read anything by Chloe Gong when she has this whole universe of books out. Like, after whatever, I don't know what the second book that follows These Find the Lights is called, but like after that book, she has another series that follows a character from These Find the Lights. And y'all, listen, it's a Romeo and Juliet, like, I don't want to say retelling, but like reimagining, set in like the 1920s in Shanghai. Does that not sound interesting? Honestly, look, listen, if I do not read this book in 2025, it's just completely getting removed from my TBR. Because it's a shame that's been on my TBR for as long as it has been. It is a damn shame. Okay? So I'm putting this out there to you guys. I'm putting it on my 2025 TBR. So you guys will know that if I do not read it, you all are allowed to scream and yell at me. The next book I have for you is called Little Thieves by Margaret Owen. Do I know anything about this book? No. Does a book talker / Instagrammer that I follow absolutely love this book series? Yes. Do I think I'm gonna also love it? Yes. So what's going on this list? It's been on my TBR, I think, for a little over a year or so now. I think I added it sometime in 2023. When I'm filming this the end of 2024. So it's been on my TBR for like a year now. Like I said, I know nothing about this book, but it sounds like something that would be, say it with me guys, right up my alley. This is going to be a phrase I just can use just because I can for the rest of the video. And so like I said, I think I'm going to enjoy it. I know nothing about it. So I couldn't even give you a small synopsis on what it's about. It is getting darker as we go. I'm sorry, it is raining outside, but I need to film. So like I said, the rest of December can be spent editing videos to get up to you guys. Because I do have a couple that I have to film towards the end of December because I don't have what I need to do that certain specific videos. Anyways, the next book I have for you is a guarantee of being read. It's guaranteed it's being read, and that is Oathbound by Tracy Deonn, which is the third book in the Legend Born cycle by Tracy Deonn. Listen, this is one of my most anticipated releases of all time. Okay, I have been waiting for this book since I finished book 2, Bloodmarked, because Bloodmarked ended on a cliffhanger that I need answers to right now. And there are still things that happen in Bloodmarked that I need answers to right now. And so I know I'm going to read this book. This is guaranteed going to be read. I have pre-ordered a hardcover copy from Amazon and a copy from Barnes & Noble. Listen, okay? Listen. Turn your ears on, okay? If you have not read Legend Born by Tracy Deonn, what are you doing? Where have you been? Are you in a hole of some kind, and are you crazy? Are you insane? Do you want your life to be better? Read it. Read it. So we are following Brie Matthews, where she goes to this like college program that her school let her go to because she is immaculate. Okay, and so one of her first nights there, she ends up in some really big trouble. She ends up having to get a mentor for the rest of her semester there. And so first night out, she's with this mentor. She witnesses something that she probably should not have witnessed, and it reminds her of something that happened the night her mother died. And so it takes her on this journey to join this group called the Legend Born, who take after King Arthur and the 12 Knights of the Round Table. Listen, this book is immaculate. Tracy Deonn's writing is immaculate for her first ever book. Immaculate. Like, I have nothing but great things to say about this book series. Book 1, Legend Born, was a 4.5. Legend Born was a 5-star, and I have a prediction that Oathbound will also be a 5-star because I expect nothing but greatness from this book. Like, I know it's going to be greatness because Tracy is a queen. The next book I have for you is The Blood Trials by Annie Davenport, which is a fantasy sci-fi book, I believe. And that's all I really know about it, okay? But once again, it's a book that is, say it with me, right up my alley. And so I have heard really good things about it. Like, the people that I follow on like Book Talk have read it and really loved it. And they were like, hey, you have to read this because I think you'll really like it. We have similar taste. I know what you like, you know what I like, and I think you would also like this book, so you need to read it. And I said, okay, bet. And this has been on my TBR since then. I have yet to read it. Oopsies. But now it's on my 25 TBR, so I'm not gonna feel obligated to read it to complete my 25 and 25 because I am a winner, not a quitter. I say that as I am a person who does not finish series, which we will talk about in the series video that's coming later this week. The next book I have for you is Queen and Conqueror by Isabel Omo. I know little to nothing about this book, but the fact that the female main character ends up giving her hand in marriage to the person who unalived her husband. And that sounds interesting. And I think this is a book series that focuses on like women in power and like the things women can accomplish if they stick together and things like that. And how do I phrase this? I am a girl's girl, okay? Yes. But also I love women's wrongs as much as I love women's rights. You like that? I like that. Okay. That's pretty much all I know about this book. And once again, it is a book that sounds right up my alley. At this point, me saying that is no longer a joke, and I'm saying it in all seriousness. It sounds like something that I'm going to really, really enjoy and that I will fly through. I don't know how many books are in the series. I know there's at least 2 that are out, and that's because the first 2 book covers are red and blue, which are my favorite colors. So they stick out in my brain more than like if this book series is more than 2 books long. So it's on my 2025. So it is on my 2025 TBR, and I cannot wait to read it. The next book I have for you is one that has taken BookTube, Bookstagram, Book Talk by storm, and it's Heartless Hunter by Christian Cicerelli. I know Rebel Witch, the second and last book following this book, comes out like pretty early in 2025, I believe. But I have yet to read this book. I want to read this book. I know it's about witches and like witch hunters, and they ended up falling in love with something or another. I don't really know. Some people say it's like Serpent and Dove, but like 10 times better. And I did know Serpent and Dove within like the first 50 pages. Will I ever go back to it? I don't know, but I'm hoping that this is their right and that this is better. But like I said, it's taken like everything by storm, and people have absolutely freaking loved this book. And I've seen people who've gotten early copies of Rebel Witch say that it's even better, and there's at a moment in this book that is not needed / warranted for this book, and I want to know what it's about. I want to know if I'm going to like it. It sounds like I'm going to like it. It sounds like it's right up my alley. And it sounds like something that I would really, really enjoy and that I will never stop talking about. Because I probably never will when I read it. And I'm super excited to read it because I've heard like literally nothing but good things. This next book on here, I put on here on a limb. Okay, I read this book and I read it back in like 2022 or 2021 or something like that. And that is From Burnt Ash by Jennifer L. Abendchild. I read the first 2 books in the series, enjoyed them. Didn't really like, I love it. It's my favorite series of all time. But I read it, I enjoyed it, and I was like, I want to continue on. So this is me restarting a series, me going back and thinking maybe that my reading taste has fully like kind of developed and I know what I like and what I don't like. That I'm going to go back, enjoy this, and absolutely love it and become feral for it. Because I think I possibly could. I think that I could possibly become a stan for this book series because I love me a good little trashy book. And these books I know are probably not written the best, but they're entertaining. So, and listen, I love me a good entertaining book, okay? I will read anything that entertains me. And I will rate it like a 4-star. Is that going to get a 5-star? Probably never get a 5-star for me, but it'll at least get a 4-star. So with that being said, I'm going to restart the Blind Ash series by Jennifer L. Abendchild and also read the like series that's supposed to like come before this that interconnects with the series. But before that, we gotta read from Blind Ash. And then once we do that, we can go from there. The next book I have for you is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. I know the thing about this book besides a Dark Academia book, and Dark Academia I love. I haven't read many of them, but it's just like a genre, like a subgenre that I really want to get into, like just dive deep into Dark Academia books. I read one other book by Ava Reed, and it was Juniper and Thorn, and I gave that book 5 stars. It was immaculate, perfect. I loved it. Say nothing bad about it, okay? It's an epiphany of one of my favorite books of all time. Okay, it's not a 6-star read, but it could be. It could be if I reread it, it may become a 6-star read. But Studying and Drowning, like I said, is a Dark Academia book that I know absolutely nothing about. Once again, I'm so sorry for knowing nothing about this book, but I'm putting it on here because I like Ava Reed and I want to read more by Ava Reed. So I think this is the next book that I kind of want to tackle in her list of books I could possibly read. The next book I have for you is Captive of Wolves by Eva Chase. This is a Why Choose fantasy series, I believe, or even a paranormal series, I believe. I once again don't think about this book, but Covers with Cassidy read it, enjoyed it, and she's like been blowing through the series, and honestly, I love her for that because I love to binge read a series. Does that also mean I probably don't finish series sometimes? Yes, because I hate reading last books in series, which we're going to fix in 2025, okay? Hold me accountable. But with that being said, I want to read this book series. I know there's a big omnibus version where it has all 5 books, but I don't know if I want that or if I want to get each book individually and read them. Like I said, I know really nothing about this book, but I just know I want to read it. The next book I have for you on this list is a book that I should have read by now. Honestly, it's a shame that I have not. And that is The Emperor by Runix, which is the 3rd book in the Darkverse series by Runix. I have read the first 2 books, The Predator and The Reaper, twice now. It is time for me to move on. Get to the end of the series. Like, the 5th book is finally out. You can finish the series, Emerson. So I need to get to The Emperor. I know it's about Dante, and I cannot for the life of me remember the female main character's name. But I'm excited to see where this takes us because these all interconnected. We're following one big storyline of the Syndicate. But I'm also excited to see Dante and his love interest finally get together and fall in love because they deserve nothing but happiness. So I can't wait to read it. The next book I have for you is Pucking Around by Emily Rath. This is a book that took the romance girlies by storm in 2023, I believe. This is like a why choose hockey romance. I love me a good why choose. If you know this about me, I love why choose books. Or peak, okay? Why have one man when you can have multiple men? Exactly. Case and point proven. So with that being said, I do want to read this. I have only read one other hockey romance, but I don't read the author because she's lesbian, but people still read her to this day, and I'm just kind of like side-eye. Anyways, with that being said, I do want to read this one because I've heard really good things about it, and I cannot wait to pick it up. I know she's a thick one, but maybe it's worth her being thick. Maybe the thickness is for a purpose. The next book I have for you, we are one away from the end, guys. One more book after this, and then you will hear me stop talking. But the next book I have for you is This Woman Kingdom by Tahira Mafi. This is the same author that wrote the Shadow Me series. I don't want to put that on here because I already have like a video project kind of planned out with the Shadow Me series for 2025, I think. Or that's going to be a video project I'm going to do of reading the Shadow Me series. So, I didn't put that on here because I was thinking of doing that video. But This Woman Kingdom is like her fantasy kind of introduction, because I think Shadow Me falls more into the dystopian sci-fi area, but This Woman Kingdom was completely like fantasy. And I really liked Tahira Mafi's writing. When I read the first Shadow Me book, I haven't been to know the series, but I have read the first one. But I know it's like a 4-book series, I believe, and the first 3 books are already out, with the 4th and final book coming out in this year. I think it's 4 books. Don't yell at me if it's not. It's going to be more than 4 books, but at least I think I know there's going to be 4 books. I pretty much also know nothing about this book. Listen, guys, just because I put these books on this list does not mean I know anything about them. I just put them on here because I want to read them. And this is a book that, once again, sounds right up my alley of fantasy, and I just really want to get to it. The last book I actually own, but I do not want to go through the process of trying to get it out of this stack right here. And that book is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. Now, I've had this book on my TBR since like 2022, somewhere in there, and I have yet to read it. I believe I'm going to get to it. I want to believe I'm going to get to it in 2025. I want to read it along with the audiobook because I heard that's the best way to get through it, because you're going to feel like you know what's going on, but you don't actually know what's going on, and it's just confusing, and that's scary. That makes me question everything about myself. I know nothing about this. I just know it's sapphic necromancers in space. And that was all you really needed to say to me for me to be like, yes, give me, I want to read. And I have still yet to read it. I actually think that was on my 23 books in 2023. Guys, I'm bad. I'm so bad. I should be banned from making TBRs because I'm so bad. But this is the last book we have to talk about. This is a 25 books was curated to me and what I know I like and what I'm hoping will be a good reading year. I want to read all 25 of these books. Now, do I know if that will happen? No, I don't, because I believe in myself, but I only believe in myself to a certain extent. And for me to get that done, I would need to read at least one book every month and then 2 in 1 month. But we're gonna do this. We're gonna put it out in the world, and we're gonna have you guys help me hold myself accountable for reading these books. I am gonna get reading journal, so there will be a 25 and 25 spread that I will make. But we are going to tackle these books in 2025 because some of these books have been on my TBR for way too long, and I have still yet to read them. So we're gonna do it. That's it from me today, guys. That's the 25 books that I want to read in 2025. That's a long list, I know. And on top of this, like, I have this on top of the fact that I want to finish series. And that video was going up after this one. I filmed that one first because that was easier to go through, and then I filmed this one. And thinking of that, I have 30 series on there, plus the 20. There's a lot I want to get through in 2025, so let's really hope that I can. And so, like I said, that's it from me today, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, give it a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want to do. And I will see you on my next one. So have a great day, evening, night, morning, afternoon, and whatever part of the world you are having it in. And I will see you next time. Goodbye.